Okay, good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the Town Board meeting for April 9th. If you'd all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Will our Deputy Clerk please call roll?
Supervisor Dwyer.
Here.
Councilman Cole.
Here.
Councilman D'Angelo.
Here.
Councilman Shudak.
Here.
Councilman Madden.
Here.
Thank you. I make a motion that we accept the regular meeting minutes from March 26, 2026. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion that we pay all audited bills. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Correspondence is listed as addendum number 1 in your packet. Is there any board discussion on the correspondence? Okay, we'll move right into reports of our boards and department heads, beginning with Police Chief John Rader.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I have a brief report tonight for the board. The Junior Police Academy registration was announced yesterday on social media. We encourage anyone interested to register as early as possible, as the class sizes are limited to 25 recruits. The program is open to any 10 to 15-year-old that lives in the town of Warwick and the 3 villages. To register, the site is www.wpdjpa.com, and it is on our Facebook page as well. A reminder that there are multiple construction zones throughout the town that will be working until late fall or early winter. There will be delays and detours, so allow extra time, respect any neighborhoods that you'll be detouring through, and keep the safety of the workers as a top priority. We have directed our patrol units to focus on committed time patrolling in and around the work zones and to utilize strict enforcement. The opening day for the Warwick Little League is this Saturday. It begins with a parade that starts at 10 a.m. on Main Street to Railroad Avenue, then onto South Street to Parkway, onto Park Lane, and then into Veterans Memorial Park. We will be on hand to assist with the road closures and the detours. And finally, April is Child Abuse Awareness Month. We work very closely with the Orange County Child Advocacy Center in Goshen to investigate reports of child abuse. We placed a sign in front of the station promoting awareness. That's all I have, unless there's any questions from the board.
Any questions? Thank you. Deputy Commissioner of DPW, Bill Rowe.
Been having a ditch screw out every day, most every day. We have a brush screw out, and we also have the hot boxes out every day filling potholes, trying to keep up with them all. We're also hauling road grits in to our stockpile. As far as the Parks Department, they're open. All the bathrooms are open, and Saturday's the big day. Everything is open. It's the first day of the season.
Great. Any questions for DPW? Thank you, Bill.
No questions?
Deputy Commissioner McPherson, Water and Sewer.
Good evening, everyone. Busy time of the year for us at the Water Department. We began starting up the Greenwood Lake summer water. We'll be down there flushing lines, repairing any leaks over the next couple weeks in Indian Park, Furnace Brook, Blueberry Trail. We're still aiming to have all the summer water on by April 15th. We opened up all of our seasonal water systems, like Bill was just saying, including the town park, the soccer field concession stand, and Union Corners Road, as well as Pine Island Park. This includes disinfecting wells, flushing lines, taking samples, and making sure the chlorine system is operating. Tomorrow we'll be fixing a water service line leak in Wickham Knolls on Park Drive with the DPW. We helped Sam with a water service leak up at Mountain Lake Park, but I think it still needs a little more investigating, which we'll take a look at next week. We continue to just make minor repairs at the wastewater treatment plant and keep it running to the best of its ability. Outside of the daily maintenance and routine operations, we've made a few minor repairs on the traveling bridge and belt press. The plant overall has been running well within the consent order limits. And we're looking to do a spring hydrant flush on all districts tentatively the first week of May.
Great. Any questions for Matt? Thank you, Matt. Recreation Director Walter.
Thank you, Supervisor. Just wanted to thank DPW and the Water Department for coming out to Mountain Lake Park and helping us out. DPW helped with a lot of widowmakers or hangers in the trees that were large, so those are all taken care of, so things look good there. Park's been busy getting water back on. The pools are still being worked on. The blue tiles being installed. It looks really great. That's the one the supervisor picked out. It looks awesome. And the wading pool has not been shot yet with the concrete, so hopefully tomorrow. It got a little wet, so that's why they had to wait for the weather to dry out a little bit before they did that. Pool membership passes are on sale. You can get them at Town Hall. Best prices are now. Swim lesson registration opened up on April 1st, and we did that online. And I think the parents really appreciated not having to wait on a huge line this year. And we have already filled up in our parent-child classes and our beginner classes and the backup classes for those age groups. So I am taking a waiting list. So if you still want to get in swim lessons for children 6 and under, just send me an email and I'll try to get you in or create a new class for you. We have some upcoming events at the park. The Iron Horse Sanctuary in Goshen is having their 2nd annual dance party. It's a fundraiser for the barn cats that live at the sanctuary, so it's a really great event. That is next Saturday, April 18th, from 2 to 5. It's $20, suggested donation. Kids under 17 are free. So it's dancing, some snacks, games, and things like that. And then another event at the park is through Sustainable Warwick. They're having a native tree and shrub sale. And that will be on Saturday, that will be on April 24th, which is Friday, and Saturday, April 25th. Times to be determined still, but it's a great event if you want to get some native plants. And pre-sale, you can get plants pre-sale on Sustainable Warwick's website. And that is it for my report.
It's quite a bit.
Yep.
Any questions for Sam? Thank you, Sam. All right, at this time, we'll go right into our town board reports, beginning with Councilman D'Angelo.
Okay, good evening. For the Town of Warwick Humane Society, the Humane Society's first fundraiser of the year will take place on Sunday, April 12th, with the marriage of Taz and Annie, 2 small dogs who have been at the shelter since September of 2025. The ceremony and reception will be at the Last Whiskey Bar in Wickham Woodlands, beginning at 1 p.m. Gift donation of $45 per person or $80 per couple would be accepted on their behalf at the door. Guests are asked to wear something orange in recognition of April is Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Month. There are 13 rabbits available for adoption at the shelter. All are spayed and neutered. Most are litter box trained. Small animal applications for adoption are available at wvumong.org. The Town of Warwick spay-neuter certificates for the Animal Rights Alliance low-cost spay-neuter of cats are available at the shelter for only $25 cash. Call 845-986-2473 for an appointment to purchase certificates. To purchase a certificate to spay or neuter your cat or the cat or cats you feed. The Animal Rights Alliance certificates covers the surgery and includes a 1-year rabies vaccination. Preventing litters of kittens helps the adult cats, helps the neighborhood, and helps the shelter. They have a wish list: pate-style canned cat or kitten food, Merrick duck formula for dogs, both dry and canned, paper towels, large and small paper plates, laundry detergent, 13-gallon garbage bags. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Cole, your report, please.
Thank you. Well, our 250th anniversary observances and program continues with a Founders Day on May 17th at the Stonehouse Inn on County Route 1 from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There are going to be reenactors there, And this year, what they're going to feature is, our historian has lined up several families in the area that have roots back to the Revolution, and they're going to give their accounts of what their families did during the Revolutionary period. And I think there's about 6 or 8 families that are going to be there. So it'd be kind of interesting to see what they did, what side they were on, and what they did. And it should be a great day over there for that. And that's all I have.
Okay, yep. Excuse me. All right. Councilman Mattingly, your report, please.
Got a few things tonight. The Warwick Valley Rotary's Warwick, Florida Military Banner Program link is now available and ready for the 2026 renewals and new banners, a meaningful tribute to the men and women who have served in the armed forces for our country. The 2026 display period is a 3-month period between May and September. Locations include the Village of Warwick on Oakland Avenue, Main Street, Maple Avenue, and Forester Avenue, and the Village of Florida on South Main Street, North Main Street, and Maple Avenue. Sponsorship rates are $150 for renewal banners and $200 for new banners. Visit warwickvalleyrotary.org for more information or to renew or get a new banner. Operation Clean Sweep in the Village of Warwick starts Sunday, April 19th and continues through Saturday, April 25th. Recycle Saturday is April 25th from 9 to 5 p.m. at the Chase parking lot on South Street in Warwick. From April 20th to 26th, the Chamber office located at 75 Main Street in the Village of Warwick will have garbage bags and gloves available for pickup, so you and your community can clean up your neighborhoods. Register your street, especially private roads, to ensure bag pickup by the town DPW. You can also submit photos of your cleanup efforts for the Chamber to share. On Recycle Saturday, paper shredding is $7 per box suggested donation. Collecting eyeglasses, hearing aids, sneakers, and rubber cleats, courtesy of the Warwick Lions Club. Unused prescriptions, courtesy of the Warwick Valley Prevention Coalition and the Warwick Police Department. Cell phones, batteries, kindergarten through 8th grade books, courtesy of the Girl Scouts and event coordinator Libby Schlichting. Coolest Recycling Drive is April 25th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., 63 Public Works Road. Refrigerators, dehumidifiers, AC units, and other refrigerants, courtesy of the Town of Warwick DPW and Sustainable Warwick. Additional recycling includes motor oil on April 25th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Dawson Motors, 45 Oakland Avenue in Warwick. Computers, televisions, and electronic waste from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the 25th, courtesy of the Computer Guy, 2 Overlook Drive in Warwick. For more information, visit the Warwick Valley Chamber of Commerce at warwickcc.org. The Warwick Valley Chamber of Commerce golf outing is Thursday, May 21st, 2026. Registration is 7:30 a.m. Shotgun start at 9 a.m. at the Crystal Springs Golf Club. Once again, visit warwickcc.org to register or sponsor. The Florida Chamber of Commerce April Mixer will be held at the Edenville Deli, 240 Pine Island Turnpike, Thursday, April 23rd, 2026 at 6 p.m. $10 dinner honoring Mike Coleman, RSVP to Beth Fuller or Alyssa Werner at contact@floridanychamber.com. The date and time for the Florida Family Fun Fest has been announced Sunday, August 9th, 2026 from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. North Main Street in the Village of Florida. For sponsorship and or vendor information, please email floridafamilyfunfest@gmail.com. The Greenwood Lake Chamber Street Fair is Saturday, June 13th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Windermere Avenue. Vendors and sponsors, please visit gwlnychamber.com/events for more information. And for a full list of Pine Island's Chamber's events, please visit pineislandny.com/events. And that is my unusually long report tonight.
Great, thank you. Councilman Schuback, your report, please.
Nothing to report tonight.
Okay. The Deputy Town Clerk, do you have a report?
Yes, the fees collected for the month of March in the clerk's office were $23,582.82, and the fees paid out for the month of March were $2,145.17. And we received bid proposals for fencing around the new Mountain Lake Park pool. The first one was from Capurus Custom Fence. The bid amount was $12,750. The second one came from Ketchum Fencing. The bid proposal was $22,480. And the third proposal was from Better Fence Company, and the amount was $5,880. And we also received bid proposals for 3 point tractor blowers. One was from Chamber Tractors. The bid proposal was $7,365. The second one came from Marshall Machinery. Bid proposal was $7,995. And we reached out to United Ag and Turf, and no bid proposal was submitted.
You might question why we're not going with the lowest bidder for the fence, and the reason is this is a New York State funded grant, and unfortunately the lowest bidder is a New Jersey company that is not registered to do business in the state of New York. So we've got that automatically forces us to use the second lowest bidder. Thank you. All right, my report. We'll start with the road construction. I hope people are getting used to it. It's been with us for an entire year, and unfortunately it's going to be with us for at least another year into next year. The road work is occurring all throughout the entire town right now. The roundabout, which was slated to begin in the spring, is ready to go. They've got all the utilities moved and prepped. The site is pretty much ready to be built out. The New York State DOT did throw the contractors a curveball by making a late request, which the contractor has to accommodate, and that's taking a little bit more time. So the project at the roundabout at intersection 1A and Route 94, which was originally planned for April, has now been moved to obviously the end of this month, if not May. They are planning to do work on Colonial and Maple, which is going to cause significant traffic for us leaving Town Hall, obviously our police department. So that's something you guys are going to have to keep your eye on. And also, if they time that, they were trying not to time the work to happen at the same time as the culvert by Larry's Deli. If that happens, then we're going to have some tricky situations to avoid. But another situation where the DOT has made requests at the Colonial Ave and Maple Ave intersection that the contractor, I have to say, is doing a great job trying to jump through a bunch of hurdles to get this project done. Huge inconvenience for everybody, we understand that, but we have to leave a little bit early, which I unfortunately forget to do sometimes, and it forces me to be a little bit late, but it's all for the sake of progress, and they're working really hard to try to get everything done. So let's just be patient and plan accordingly. We submitted a grant for a salt barn to Congressman Pat Ryan, and we have received informal confirmation that he is supporting and submitted this funding in the next congressional legislative bill package. That's a big hurdle, it's a big step. It doesn't guarantee us the money, but it is certainly a great step in the right direction for adding a new upgraded salt barn at our DPW yard. I've seen just in my short time that we're constantly struggling after every storm to maintain adequate salt levels, and then you get hit with a winter like we had this year, and it really proved how vulnerable municipalities can be if they cannot store enough salt. We're the largest town with more town roads than any other town in Orange County, and we were struggling to keep up with the salt demand this year. So we really appreciate Congressman Ryan's support in pushing this through, and we're going to cross our fingers and hope for the best, but it's looking really good. At our workshop tonight, I introduced a concept to the town board to apply for Community Development Block Grant Program through HUD for $275,000 for bathrooms and ADA accessibility components in Mountain Lake Park, specifically around the pickleball courts and the pool area. So we will be presenting for public hearing a proposal to apply for Community Development Block Grant for upgraded ADA accessible bathrooms in Mountain Lake Park. We are also applying for a grant to do a planning grant for Wickham Woodlands Park, which will include potential for trail improvements, bathroom facilities, pedestrian and ADA improvements, water access for both passive and non-passive recreation, and also the potential building uses. The Town of Warwick has 3 buildings at Wickham Woodlands Park, and we're looking at doing a comprehensive planning analysis for how the entire park, as well as our facilities, can be used better for the public. I'm happy to announce, I don't believe the police chief did in his own report about the dishes grant. Did you not want to mention that? Okay. It was in your report? Wasn't, yeah, I didn't think it was. The chief successfully applied for and awarded on behalf of the Town of Warwick a $60,000 grant for a bomb detection dog. Last year, was it last year? Our canine retired. So this will replace our previous bomb detection canine and make sure that we continue to have that great, much-needed program. So great work on that grant, and happy to keep that program in place. We also received a $15,000 grant for IT cybersecurity analysis, comprehensive analysis for all of our IT security systems. So we will move forward with that. I have announced and introduced a new initiative that I'm going to be doing starting next Tuesday, which will be called Coffee with the Supervisor. And it will be a way that we will bring all of our department heads from the Town of Warwick to one table out in the public, and it'll be traveling to different parts across the town. This upcoming Tuesday will be at 1 Oakland in the village of Warwick at 9 a.m. And you will have an opportunity to come out, talk to me, talk to the board, talk to any one of our 9 department heads, whether it's the police chief, water sewer issues, recreation issues. Our receiver of taxes will be there. Our town assessor will be there. You name it, any department head will be there. And it's going to be a great opportunity for not only the public to meet them, but for some of our town department heads to collaborate on some issues and make sure that everybody's in the loop on certain things. You know, they don't always get to meet and talk to each other. So it'll be a really nice opportunity for everybody to be in the same room and to give the public the accessibility factor where they can meet with our department heads and me. So again, we're going to move to different places. The first one will be Tuesday, April 14th at 1 Oakland, which is the former Cafe a la Mode in the village of Warwick. The next one will be Tuesday, May 12th at Table 21 in Pine Island, followed by Tuesday, June 16th at Mattingly Tavern in the village of Florida, followed then by Greenwood Lake Roasters on Tuesday, July 21st. And again, this will be from 9 to 10. Obviously, we're not going to shut the door and walk out at 10 o'clock. If we're engaged in meaningful conversation with the public, we will stay as long as we can, or as long as we need to. So we look forward to seeing the public, and again, the public is encouraged, and you can come out and have a cup of coffee on me. Not paid for by tax dollars, by the way. And then one more. Tonight, I'm proud to share an important step forward in the Town of Warwick's long-standing commitment to preserving open space, expanding parkland, and protecting the character of our community. The Town of Warwick has partnered with the Open Space Institute to preserve approximately 313 acres of land surrounding the Warwick Conference Center. This is not just another land acquisition. It is part of a broader, decades-long effort to ensure that Warwick remains a place defined by its natural beauty, its open landscapes, and its thoughtful, balanced approach to growth. This will leave the conference center open for business with a remaining 100-acre campus. For more than 25 years, Warwick has led the way in open space preservation, protecting over 5,000 acres of land. Tonight's announcement builds directly on that success. This acquisition represents our continued commitment to getting ahead of development pressure, not reacting to it after the fact. By securing this property, we are preventing the potential for overdevelopment while simultaneously creating new opportunities for public use. This land will become a town preserve, adding to our park system and offering residents expanded access to trails, passive recreation, and the outdoors. Perhaps most exciting, this property will help create meaningful connections, linking our existing town parks with regional trail systems and even extending access into New Jersey's way beyond a state park. This is the kind of forward-thinking planning that enhances quality of life, not just for today's residents, but for generations to come. From a fiscal standpoint, this project is being pursued responsibly. The property is already mostly tax exempt, meaning there will be little to no impact on our tax base. We are also aggressively pursuing outside funding, including a $3.5 million grant through the New York State DEC Open Space Fund. This will significantly offset the town's investment. This is exactly what our Community Preservation Fund was designed to do: protect critical lands, expand recreational opportunities, and ensure that Warwick continues to grow in a way that reflects our community values. Let me be clear, there will always be development, but in Warwick, we make sure that growth is balanced with preservation. This project is a perfect example of that philosophy in action. I want to thank the Open Space Institute for their partnership and shared vision. Together, we're not just preserving land, we're shaping the future of Warwick. And that concludes my report. We'll open it up to privilege of the floor on any on agenda items only. Okay, we'll move right into new business resolutions, which is addendum number 4.
Motion to authorize the town to seek bids for the following roofing projects at Mountain Lake Park: Lodge, entire building all new; Arts, entire building all new; Arts, flat only; Preschool, entire building all new; and Preschool, repairs only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to authorize the supervisor to sign agreement with MHE Engineering for engineering services regarding MS4 mapping at the rate schedule submitted with the contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to promote Michaela Cuevas and Avia Vasquez from animal care attendants to animal control officers effective April 11th, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to create a seasonal position for a water safety director.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to accept bid proposal from Cuperis Custom Fence Incorporated to supply and install fencing around Mountain Lake Park pool for the amount of $12,750.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. I'm going to have you pause for a moment here. I've got to go print out. For some reason, the final 2 resolutions are not the ones that I had edited, so I'm going to ask that the deputy clerk call for the all in favor votes as they come up. Okay? Just share everybody. I'm going to go print something.
Absolutely.
Okay. We're going to continue.
Yes.
Okay, motion to appoint John Miller and Roger Marshall as court attendants at $20 per hour effective April 13th, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to accept bid proposal from Chambers Tractor Sales Incorporated for a 3-point tractor blower in the amount of $7,365.
Second.
Motion carried.
All in favor?
All in
All in
favor?
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve a special event flea market at Edenville Deli on April 25th, 2026, from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. to benefit the RJR Memorial.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt a resolution granting permission for the following applicants to serve alcohol at the Warwick Parks and rental facilities. The applicants have filed a certificate of liability and liquor liability in the clerk's office. Applicants are listed on the table below.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to authorize the following budget transfer from grant expenses A00.00 to 7510.225 to special department supplies A00.00.7510.466 in the amount of $500.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Motion to refund the remaining escrow in the amount of $275 to James Armstrong in regards to tax parcel, section block and lot 18-1-2.2 for property located at 129 Old Bridge Road. The project has been withdrawn as per letter dated April 6, 2026 from the Planning Board Secretary.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to refund the remaining escrow of amount of $9,800 back to James Armstrong in regard to tax parcel SBL 35-1-21 for property located at Lake Station Road. The project has been withdrawn as per letter dated April 6, 2026, from the planning board secretary.
Second.
All in favor?
He's just finished.
Aye.
He's on 173. Aye.
You do the last one.
Okay.
Okay.
Motion to reimburse Goodwill Hook and Ladder Company, number 1, for payment made in error to the Town of Warwick regarding New York State Gambling Commission Form GC7, financial statement of games of chance operation in the amount of $49.47.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Motion to authorize the Town of Warwick to create a police assistant position to receive, sort, and index records and reports that specifically pertain to the many services available in Orange County for mental health incidents and victims of crimes, subject to Orange County approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to appoint John McAndrews provisionally and subject to civil service approval to the position of police assistant at a rate of pay of $31.48 per hour, effective May 2nd, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to appoint Sean C. Walter as a full-time police officer with a pay rate of $37.27 per hour, corresponding to step 1 of the collective bargaining agreement, subject to Orange County approval, effective April 18th, 2026.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to adopt the following resolution. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Warwick created a Community Preservation Board, CPAB, which board adopted a community preservation project, the plan, which has been approved by the Town Board and the Town of Warwick, and whereas tax parcels ID 61-1-10.22-1, parcel 63-1-10.22-2, and parcel 63.1.63-1-12, the property has been identified as a CPAB for inclusion in the plan, and whereas the town board determines the inclusion of the property in the plan is in furtherance of the town farmland and open space preservation goals and should be included in the plan. And whereas the town board has determined that this is a type 2 action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act.
The deputy clerk, was that the entirety of it?
I think I
No.
might have the last page.
Okay, yeah.
There's another-
Next page,
now third,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Now, therefore, be it resolved, tax parcels, ID number 63-1-10-22-1, and parcels 63-10-22-2, and parcels 63-1-12 are hereby adopted and included as part of the Town of Warwick Community Preservation Plan.
The deputy clerk will do a roll call vote.
Supervisor Dwyer?
Aye.
Councilman Cowell?
Aye.
Councilman D'Angelo?
Aye.
Councilman Shuback?
Aye.
Councilman Mattingly?
Aye.
Let the roll call, let it show that 5 ayes, 0 nays.
Thank you.
Motion to adopt the following resolution. Whereas the Open Space Institute owner is a contract vendee and has entered into a contract of sale to purchase a portion of the premises known as the Warwick Conference Center, 3 Warwick Center Road, Warwick, New York, and has offered to sell the premises to the Town of Warwick, town, for parkland and open space purposes, and whereas the premises are known as a portion of the tax parcels ID number 63-1-10.22-1, 63-1-10-22-2, and 63-1-12, consisting of approximately 313 acres of land and are considered ideal for the express purpose of establishing a community forest and open space park, and for the purpose of protecting the land from future development, herein the property. And whereas the Town Board of the Town of Warwick created the Community Preservation Advisory Board, CPAB, which board adopted a community preservation project plan, the plan, which was approved by the town board of the Town of Warwick, Town Board, and has approved this property for the inclusion in the plan. And whereas tax parcels ID numbers 63-1-10.22-1, 63-1-10.22-2, and 63-1-12 have been adopted and included as part of the Town Community Preservation Project Plan by the Town Board. And whereas the Open Space Institute has offered to sell the property to the Town of Warwick for the sum of $3,975,100 based on 313 acres of land. And whereas $3,500,000 of the purchase price will be applied for through the New York DEC Open Space Conservation Grant Program, and the balance plus closing costs, of which may be up to $600,000, shall be paid through the Town of Warwick Community Preservation Fund. And whereas the Town Board determines that the purchase of the property benefits the town and its furtherance of the town's farmland and open space protection plan. And whereas pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, SEQR, the Town of Warwick Town Board is required to satisfy the requirements of SEQR prior to authorizing the town supervisor to enter into a contract of sale that commits the town to the purchase of the property. And whereas this resolution authorizing a letter of agreement qualifies as a Type 2 element of the overall action, more specifically, it is part of the preliminary planning and budgetary processes necessary for the formulation of a proposal for action, provided those activities do not commit the agency to commence, engage in, or approve such action. And the Town Board finds that it is appropriate to segment this resolution from the larger SEQR review and of land acquisition, given its exigency, sorry about that, of meeting the application and schedule requirements of the NYSDEC Open Space Conservation Grant Program, and on the basis of this resolution does not commit the Town Board to close on the purchase of the property unless and until the requirements of SEQR are fully satisfied, and thus it is no less protective of the environment. Now therefore be it resolved that the town supervisor is authorized to enter into a letter of agreement for the purchase of the property subject to and not exceeding the appraised value based on 313 acres of land, contingent upon full satisfaction of the requirements of SEQR and upon receiving a grant from the New York DEC Open Space Conservation Grant Program. And the town supervisor is authorized to execute any and all documents necessary to apply for a grant in the amount of $3,500,000 through the New York DEC Open Space Conservation Grant Program. This resolution shall take effect immediately.
Do we have a second? Second. Deputy Clerk will do a roll call vote.
Supervisor Dwyer?
Aye.
Councilman Cole?
Aye.
Councilman D'Angelo?
Aye.
Councilman Shuback?
Aye.
Councilman Mattingly?
Aye.
Motion carried, 5 ayes, 0 nays.
Thank you.
I have one more resolution. It'll be Resolution 2026 motion to accept bid from Colley Construction for police station renovations in the amount of $457,689.
Second.
And that will be covered by a grant from Senator James Skoufis in the amount of $460,000. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, at this time, we'll open it up to privilege of the floor on any general topic. Please. Can you just spell your last name for us, please, when you get to the mic?
Chris Piskowski, P-S-K-O-W-S-K-I. Good evening. 2 months, or a month ago, I missed last meeting, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks before that, I was here, and I was promised I'd get a phone call the next day and get that site plan.
That's not anywhere near accurate. I said go to the planning department and you'll be able to pick up a copy of the site plan. We didn't take down your phone number, you wouldn't have gotten a call. I don't know who's
I
gonna call you.
believe someone said I'd be contacted
Okay.
when it was ready.
Oh, it's ready, it's there, they have it.
Okay.
You had put the wrong section, block, and lot number on the application, that's why they couldn't find it.
Back in October,
Yes.
but then I resubmitted it in January after I spoke to the town clerk and we clarified that.
So have you still not picked it up?
No, I was waiting for.
It's available
contact.
anytime you go there.
You guys did have my email. Also, that evening, I asked who interpreted the code, which I don't even know what code it's falling under, and you said it was interpreted by Mr. Kahulik, your town attorney. Has anybody asked a question? This is just a question. If Mr. Kahulik was ever retained by Mr. Scrabeyes?
What are we talking about interpreting? Interpreting what code?
The code that Scrabeye is, remember the recycling? I don't even know what the code is because I didn't get the paperwork yet. I've been out of town. But according to New York Department of State, under divisions of building standard codes, the ZBA has the final authority to interpret zoning codes. The building inspector and enforcement officer can initially do a determination. It doesn't speak of anything about a town lawyer interpreting the code.
Are you requesting an interpretation of the
By
code?
the ZBA, yes.
There's a process to do that. You have to fill out an application for that to be done. It doesn't just automatically happen.
Well, you asked Mr. Krahulik to interpret the code. Why wouldn't you go to the ZBA
I asked him
yourself?
for his opinion of the code. I didn't ask for a specific
What do you-
interpretation.
In the town of Warwick, isn't there a fee for me to go get the code interpreted?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a procedure in place. If a
No, I got
resident
it.
wants to have the code interpreted, they can do that. Just as the building inspector is the enforcement official that would go out and do investigations on property maintenance or other issues that you might have. So I'm not really sure what you're trying to
Wouldn't
accomplish
you be
yet.
interested if that code is being interpreted properly? Because I've spoken to the DEC and now I've got some reaction from them.
Good.
And
We spoke with the DEC as well as my engineer. So no, I didn't just get an interpretation from Bob Krahulik. We had a full meeting with our engineer, with our commissioner of DPW, with our planning board chairman, as well as an attorney. And we all looked at exactly what you had mentioned, and we all came to the same agreement. So that's what we're going by right now. If you wish to further interpret that situation, you would then have to go to the ZBA and ask for an interpretation of the code.
There's no possible way for you people to do it. I went to another town and it cost me $5,000 in fees. In 2 meetings, they ate up.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like we're just going to do a back and forth about your pet projects and what you're looking at accomplishing here, so.
This
if
is
you can
not a
just-
pet. Whoa,
If you can just directly state what you're trying to accomplish and what you are
I'm
looking
trying
for.
to get somebody to be concerned that there's a contamination of farm fields, the Quaker Creek, and possibly lands around our grammar school in the village of Florida. But it doesn't seem like anyone is really interested.
As I said, I immediately, the very next morning, had a meeting of all of our
I
professionals.
was very impressed. You guys went out there the next day.
And spoke with the DEC. We spoke with the DEC, not Bob Krahulik. Our engineer spoke with the DEC and confirmed that they have an active permit to do what they're doing. We have a copy of their permit which says exactly what they're doing. We do agree that it's somewhat of a gray situation, and he is required to get some clarification on his site plan. So I believe, the last I checked on this, he will be going to amend his site plan to more accurately reflect what he's doing now.
Shouldn't he be shut down until that's amended?
We don't feel that it warrants shutting down at this point in
And
time.
who was the officer, or who would you speak to at the DEC?
I don't have that with me right now.
Because I went through several channels and I finally got to the right department. I don't know.
We have good numbers that we can get directly to certain people.
Okay, and this is not a pet project of mine, as you
I
just.
don't know. You came here last time with like 6 different things. You just started throwing stuff at us, and it seems like an unusual thing to do. I mean, the proper channels to look at property complaints, even this one, are to go to the building department and fill out a form. Not only does it, the reason for that is it's great because it creates a paper trail, just like your FOIL, right? So when you go to the building department and you do that, it starts a really good paper trail that's beneficial to us, so that After you go there and you don't get what you need, you don't get the proper results, then you come to the town board and you say, hey, look, just like you did with the foil, I foiled this, I didn't get it, and out of my remarks, the newspaper, you can look back and see, I said it will be available for you tomorrow to pick up. And that was true. It was ready. I guarantee if you go to the planning
No,
department,
I
it
was
is
out of town
printed.
anyway.
It might even have your name on it, printed, ready to go. So what I would suggest to you, if you've got these different things that you want to work on, go to the building department, fill out a complaint form on any one of them. I don't care which one it is. Go through the channels for the people that are paid to look into those things. Let them come back to you with their response. If that response is not adequate or sufficient for your needs, then you come to us and you say, this is the response that I'm getting. This is not good. This is not good enough. Creates a good paper trail, and it's really the way to go.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Anything else from the board before we conclude? All right, our next town board meeting will be Thursday, April 23rd, 2026 at 7 p.m. And as always, it is preceded by a public workshop right here in this meeting room as early as 5:30 p.m. I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Thanks for coming, everybody.